Hey everybody. Starting next Tuesday, I'm going to be offering a 5-week yoga series called The Magic of Breath. So, a lot of people are familiar with the yogic practice of asana, which is where we make a bunch of cool shapes with our bodies, like Warrior Two and Tree Pose, stuff like that. This class is going to focus on the arm of yoga that's called pranayama, which is kind of where we make a whole bunch of cool shapes with the breath. So people have really concrete reasons for practicing asana because you know it's going to make you stronger and you know it's going to make you flexible, but it can be a little hard to imagine why you might want to sit around and just breathe for an hour and work with the breath. So I thought I would just share a little story about my interest in pranayama. So I got interested in the breath because I was a really nervous little kid. And a lot of stuff that other kids thought was really easy was almost impossible to me because I was so nervous that my stomach was upset anytime I got in a situation where I was feeling a little stressed out. It was so bad in high school that my friends even joked that I had morning sickness because my stomach would literally be sick from like 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. every single school day. It was so bad that I had a standing agreement with the school that if I started to get sick, I was allowed to just leave the campus, just to walk off campus and go where I needed to go to calm down. I wasn't a bad kid, I was a brainy kid. So instead of going and smoking or doing graffiti or something, I would go hang out at the Gahanna Library. So one day I was at the library and I was just walking the shelves looking for a book that might help me change my situation. And I came across this book that said in giant letters, "Feel better now." And I was like, okay, cool, that's exactly what I want. I really want to feel better right now. So I flipped it open and the first exercise that I came to was about breath. It was specifically about extending the inhalation. This idea that when you're feeling tense, if you breathe out for longer than you breathe in, then it starts to trigger the body into relaxing. And they suggested some numbers that you could breathe in to a count of 4 and out to a count of 7, or in to a count of 5 and out to a count of 9. So I started practicing that a lot, and I would say that was the first tool. It wasn't the only thing I needed, but it was the first tool that I had that started to make me feel like I could take control of this situation that really made me feel out of control most of the time. Fast forward like 10 years when I found myself in a yoga studio all the time, and I had the extremely fortunate luck to take yoga classes from Linda Oceans, who really has devoted years and years to pranayama. And I was excited, and it felt familiar to me to find that in pranayama, extending the exhalation is one of the first practices that you encounter, and that the idea of counting the breath is actually a ratio and a meditation that you can do all the time. So I was experiencing yoga breath when I was like 12 or 13 years old, and then later in life would come back to realize it was actually yoga. So if you're going through a period in your life where you feel like you need some emotional regulation, or it would be nice to be able to take some control over what's happening inside you, then maybe you'll want to give this class a try. It's also just a really nice way to take your attention from the outside world and draw it in for an hour once a week. So if any of that sounds good to you, I hope you'll consider joining me next Tuesday. Thanks, have a great day.